Live from the parking lot of Sprouts, whatever it is.
Tuesday morning again, or something like that.
Parking lot Tuesday.
I'm wearing sunglasses because you do not want to see my eyes.
Why is that?
Because the allergies are so bad. I have been wearing my mask outside to get the clothes off the line. My eyes are terribly itchy and swollen, and I've gotten some nice homeopathic medicine that's helped a little bit the last day and a half.
It's been severe.
Everybody in the neighborhood is saying it's the worst ever. But my eyes have never done this. The itching is painful.
You must have it worse than all the other neighbors because I don't hear them screaming at the top of their lungs like.
I wasn't screaming, but I was jerking, and I get hot and then cold and then go. I couldn't take it. It was like it was painfully itchy, and my eyes were swollen and red, and they still are.
And I probably have it too, except I'm insensitive.
Yeah, well, he sneezes a little.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're whining again. I'm allergic to Sacramento. I've said this before.
And the more you say it, the more you'll be it. That's good magic. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if I just ignore it and let my nose run all over, it'll be fine.
So.
Anyway, we had a nice class last night. Smallish, but sometimes that's really good.
Well, it was.
And we were reading something very interesting that we thought we were going to finish, but we had lots of talk. We talked a lot.
Aleister Crowley's Duty, yes.
Yes, and our duty too.
But it's
about, we have 7 pages printed out, and it says it's a note on the chief rules of practical conduct. Where do you get that in magic? Practical conduct to be observed by those who accept the law of Crowley-ian.
And you'd think it'd be a more famous little essay.
And you can certainly go off on every paragraph and have a discussion about it. So, which we did. And then we're not finished yet.
So we thought we could get through it in one night, but
I talked a lot because there were less people.
But somebody monopolized it. No, you had a bunch of notes and stuff.
I write notes in books and stuff when I'm reading it because I predict what's gonna, I explain it to myself and then I read on as I go on. So anyway, it's part of it is it's a small part of it is about teaching, and it's natural. It's National Teachers Day, right?
Yes, Teacher Appreciation Day.
Teacher Appreciation Day, and our son's a teacher, and Lon's a teacher, and God help, as in a Doris Day movie. Someone next to it. There's smoke coming out of the car next to us, and I think
it's somebody vaping. I think.
Yeah, it's a vaping. Okay. Anyway, we appreciate teachers, but it's everybody's job to teach a little bit. And a fun way, I was thinking of a fun way, because we enjoy class so much. We enjoy class when class is huge, and we enjoy class when class is small. And there are book clubs that people have when you have strangers and friends come together, maybe a dozen or so, or less than that, and regularly and discuss a book, but it's usually not, our kind of books, but it could be.
50 Shades of Purple.
Anyway, well, I don't like making fun of other people's book clubs because I'm praising book clubs right now because it would be fun. An easy way is if you have 2 or 3 friends, which you all do, and you want to not talk to each other on the phone because you can't have a discussion by texting or on the phone. Really, you can't. I'm sorry, but no, you can't. And over, tea or wine or coffee. Coffee would be good. Oh Lord. That's how revolutions are fomented, by coffee.
Yes, coffee has revolutions.
Yes, and
there should be.
And that's why coffee used to be forbidden unto women, because
But I go to the coffee shop every day, and it's just filled with people, and nobody's talking to each other.
Right. They're not fomenting revolution.
They're
Anyway, so anyway, I was waiting for whatever subject you and 2 or 3 friends might be interested in, even slightly, that you might have to come get a book, and all of you get the same book, or print out parts of it, or whatever, and have like a tiny book club, a gathering maybe once every week or every 2 weeks for just 2 hours or something, and discuss the book. Doesn't matter.
You don't have to criticize it, but
no.
just the.
Just whatever interests you about the book, and whatever interests them about the book, will be 2 different things, and you'll be teaching each other. Because believe me, class teaches us. Class has always taught us. We know nothing. I'd know nothing if it weren't for Jean-Paul and class.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. Well, in the Newport Beach Public Library. But that's sort of connected to both those things. So anyway, just gonna teach. You must teach. You can't help it, even if you think you're not, you're teaching. Even when you're shopping and if you're buying a bunch of junk food, you're teaching your person next to you to buy a bunch of junk food. That's okay, because you look like a nice person.
Book of the Law says, he must teach, but he may make severe the ordeals.
Right, so buy your broccoli. Buy broccoli and eat it.
Yeah, that's severe the ordeal.
No. But, no. I was just joking about it. Okay. A lot of people don't like it. Not us, we eat plenty of broccoli.
We eat so much broccoli that...
No, we don't. We only buy a big bunch of...
We eat more broccoli than our neighbors.
Oh, well, that's probably true.
Because I sneak in and I look in their refrigerator.
And what's in there, broccoli? Oh,
there's
in
no
refrigerator.
There's no broccoli in their refrigerator.
Okay. I used to. Oh, that reminds me. When we were really, really super poor, when Jean-Paul was little, and I was always hungry. But then I was hungry for about 10 years. I would dream of buffets with mashed potatoes, but astral travel kind of things. When you're flying dreams, I would always fly. Maybe it's low enough to go under clotheslines usually, or over clotheslines, but not high. I would not go super high, and I would always go in people's refrigerators. In fact, we used to take walks through what we would call rich white folks
yes,
in Newport Beach when we were poor, and I would go and always imagine what was in their refrigerator. It wasn't usually very good. But.
And on our Christmas walk, where all of the rich white folks had parties and stuff.
They used to, but they don't. They didn't recently.
They don't anymore. But we used to stand out front in our ragged clothes in the cold and shiver and look inside at their warm parties and.
Oh, that sounds way too beautiful. We were having a good time while we were doing it.
Yeah.
Even if we had plastic bags over us because it was drizzly or raining or something.
We had to put plastic bags on our shoes. It was
our shoes. We had these big plastic black bags that we kind of hold them for our heads.
Oh,
Don't remember it was raining so hard it was pouring and we were hysterically laughing.
I had them on my shoes for about 4 steps.
And that's slippery, that isn't.
Well, anyway.
We used to wonder what was in the refrigerators. So,
who were your best? Do you have any favorite teachers that you had in high school? We went to the same high school, same year.
High school? Oh, you mean the biology teacher I had a crush on because he had beautiful turquoise eyes?
Mr. Wooten.
Mr. Wooten. But no, I like biology, so I like that. Well, I went to Catholic. I went to grade school, were more influential to me. I went to Catholic school for the first 4 years. I had nuns for 2 years, and the same mean, wicked witch of the whatever for the other 2 years, a lay teacher. So, and I didn't particularly like Catholic school, except I did like the 2 years I had the nuns, and I loved going to Mass every day. Sorry, but I actually did. And, but by the time I got to 5th grade, we had, either my parents couldn't afford it because they finally built a house and had to pay for it, and wanted to keep us warm. And I went to public school, which was heaven, because at the time, believe it or not, there was no art or science, which was like 2 of my favorite subjects.
It might be like that now.
No, I think it was fixed probably with a year or 2 after I got out in Catholic grade school. So,
I mean, the main thing, the biggest thing.
But anyway, so we had this huge wall library under the big, huge windows that were open of books, of science books in 5th grade. I was so excited, I could hardly stand it. I mean, books about planets and space and animals and everything you could possibly want, right in the room.
Wow!
I know.
Books in room.
Books in rooms. And
pipes with water.
But I was always interested in books because my dad would always buy me a little golden book whenever he got paid, and my grandpa made me a bookcase that I still have in the bedroom. So anyway, how to get teachers. Oh, so my favorite teacher was Miss Combs. She lived across the street from the Catholic Church, and she lived like a nun. She was quite virginal and plain, but she was an excellent, superior teacher and got everybody inspired in the 5th grade. I loved her. And in 7th grade, in junior high, I had a woman named Miss Millian who was indescribable. She's from another.
She's Voltaire's godmother.
Yeah, she talks about Voltaire and I forgot and other French people like stunned me. I had no idea there was another world out there when we were in 7th grade. I mean, and we never got that before or after, believe me. And she was very kind. Instead of putting the kids who were slow learners, because nobody was hardly anybody stupid, but there were kids who didn't catch on fast enough. She did not let them go, fall by the wayside or bully them. She made sure they sat toward the front of the class.
She put David Jacobs right in front.
Oh, no, she would. Don't say that. Because I'm not saying
Oh.
Don't mention names.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She made, there was a couple of boys who were actually slower, but they improved immensely because she put them at the front of the class and gave them, when they didn't understand something, she could tell by the look on their faces, I swear, and she would kindly explain things to them and give them a little extra time. She was just, and she made us do creative writing, write sentences about things in your, a certain, in your life. She was just awesome and made you want to learn stuff, which is what teachers are supposed to do.
Much of our cultural milieu where we went to school was still sort of 19th century, but Miss Millian was 18th century.
Yeah, she was really another time, and she dressed like it too, and she was quite elderly, and
she had braids.
On top of her head.
On top of her head, that's right.
Oh God, all my heroes did that. Now that I think of it, oh dear. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
That was totally worthless today, I guess.
Well, we're after the last few weeks when we were sick and coughing and we skipped shopping and stuff like that. We're doing pretty good today.
Not too bad today. No, it's just my nose is not. I'm not doing anything right now.
No,
it's miraculous. So.
I don't see any of those.
No, don't go there. Don't go there.
Okay.
About waterfalls coming out of my nose.
All right. We did our neti pots this morning.
Oh, that's right. We recommend neti pots. If you don't know what a neti pot is, we put a little bit of pure salt, pure water. It has to have pure water.
Distilled water, yes.
Well, we have distilled, but you can just use purified water. You just can't use tap water. Warm it up to however you like it, just not too hot and not cold. With a little pure salt, not table salt that has a zillion additives. And we happen to have powdered granulated xylitol, and I put that in there too. But it takes a minute or two for the salt and the xylitol to dissolve before you can actually use it, because you don't want chunks of anything in your nose.
And it's just a little warmer than Luke temperature,
Yes,
right?
yeah, it should feel warm in your nose slightly. Or this, you know. Anyway, neti pots are a savior for you.
It's like a little teapot, and you
tilt your head over the sink and you pour it in one nostril and it comes out the other, and and maybe it doesn't, and it takes a while because there's stuff in there, but usually it goes right through. And then you do the other half of the neti pot in the other nostril, and then you blow your nose a little bit, and you're much, things are washed out of places that you can't reach.
That's right.
Now, this is a really strange show if you're going to talking about places you can't reach. And things that
Also, a
washed out.
garden hose up your nose will.
We're not talking about that because I've done that.
You've done that before
I've turned
too.
it on really as low as it'll go, because I'm outside and my nose is running.
Okay.
Here's duty for you, Steve.
Thank you. I'll take that, and I'll turn this
Awesome.
back on to me if I can do it without finishing it.
This is the longest I've been without a mask in a long time.
Well, you did pretty good without a mask.
So far, I'll probably get in there and it won't be good.
So I'll only take a few minutes
Because we were so long.
because yes,
We were so long.
we're still a little. I'm a little fragile.
Oh, he's a little fragile today.
I'm a little fragile.
I am
today.
not particularly. I'm a little less fragile today, and he's a little more. So.
Yeah. But anyway, I hope everybody. I know. Yesterday's excitement was the release and
God, he's at this again.
and the arrival
Of Lon's baby.
of Lon's baby. Okay. 50 years in the making, 3 years in the writing, 10 minutes in the fondling when it arrived.
10 minutes? Wow, talk about it.
And,
Lon usually exaggerates.
and anyway, please, if you have it and read it or start it, if there's anything you like about it, feel free to exaggerate.
I'm going to roll my window down a little bit.
Okay, and leave a review
you're
of
bad,
undiluted praise. Okay, that's it. Yesterday. Okay, this is in keeping with teaching and things like that. Yesterday at Monday Night Magic class, we took a pretty short little essay. It's a strange essay because there's lots of quotes from the Book of the Law, and so and it's called Duty, and you're hard pressed to find it published. Okay, you can find an entire beautiful formatted version of it, file of it, on the OTO USA website, and just look under. I guess there's a thing that says library, and there's the Grandmaster Sabazius has posted very interesting and sometimes rare Crowley works on it, and Duty is one of them. And if the Book of the Law and subjects or works concerning polemic morality, if you want to call it that, are few and far between, you'll at least want to chew on duty. Now, there's only there's the duty to yourself, there's the duty to other individual men and women, and then there's your duty to mankind. And I'm just going to share a little bit of it because it's a note on the chief rules of practical conduct to be observed by those who accept the law of Thelema. So, accepting the law of Thelema in a big sense is actually getting it and functioning as your best understanding of what it is to be a Thelemite, what the law of Thelema really is. It's just not whether you've joined a club, now you got to do these rules. No. This is, if you've awakened, if you're awoke to what Thelema is and what your will is, your true will is, and you want to behave in harmony with that, here are some hints anyway. Starts off with, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, and it gives the little chapter and verse. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt. Thou hast no right but to do thy will. Do that, and no other shall say nay. For pure will, unassuaged of purpose, delivered from the lust of result, is every way perfect. Love is the law, love under will, every man and every woman is a star. That's how it sort of starts off. Now, I'm going to read, first of all, just the numbered duties. It'll only take a second, because the fun part is his individual comments on these duties, but I'm just going to go through first. A, your duty to yourself. Find yourself to be the center of your own universe. That's your number one duty to yourself. Find yourself to be the center of your own universe. And he repeats, I am the flame that burns in every heart of man and in the core of every star. 2. Explore the nature and powers of your own being. 3. Develop in harmony and proportion every faculty you possess. 4. Contemplate your own nature. 5. Find the formula of this purpose or true will in an expression as simple as possible. You could say, I want to be the savior of the world. Well, if that wraps it up, there it is. An expression as simple as possible. 6. Extend the dominion of your consciousness and its control of all forces alien to it, to the utmost. 7. Never permit the thought or will of any other being to interfere with your own. 8. Do not repress or restrict any true instinct of your nature, but devote all imperfection to the soul's service of your own true will, your one true will. 9. Rejoice. That's your duty, to rejoice. Now, after each one of those are quotes from the book of the law, and then a little paragraph that Crowley was on a roll when he wrote these paragraphs. I'm just going to read a couple, and then, because we've already gone really long today. Find yourself to be the center of your own universe. And then that quote from the Book of the Law, where Hadith says, I am the flame that burns in every heart of man and in the core of every star. Okay, find yourself to be the center of your own universe. This includes everything which is or can be for you. And you must accept everything exactly as it is in itself, as one of the factors which go up to make up your true self. This true self thus ultimately includes all things soever. Its discovery is initiation, the traveling inwards. And as its nature is to move continually, it must be understood not as static, but as dynamic, not as a noun, but as a verb. Now, in a couple other places, Crowley is reaching so universally inclusive of all consciousness as yours too. So much so, it really surprised me. It's almost like he was writing this today. Develop in harmony and proportion every faculty which you possess. Okay, let's see here. 4, contemplate your own nature. Consider every element thereof both separately and in relation to all the rest, as to judge accurately the true purpose of the totality of your being. 5, find the formula of this purpose or true will in an expression as simple as possible. Okay, he says, learn to understand clearly how best to manipulate the energies which you control to obtain the results most favorable to it from its relations with the part of the universe which you do not yet control. 6, extend the dominion of your consciousness and its control of all the forces alien to it to the utmost. Do this by ever stronger and more skillful application of your faculties to the finer, clearer, fuller, and most accurate perception, the better understanding and the more wisely ordered government of that external universe. 7, never permit the thought or will of any other being to interfere with your own. Can you see how you can get in trouble if you are superficially trying to follow that instruction? Okay, it's be constantly vigilant to resent and on the alert to resist with unvanquishable ardor and vehemence of passion unquenchable every attempt of any other being to influence you other than by contributing new facts to your experience of the universe, or by assisting you to reach a higher synthesis of truth by the mode of passionate fusion. 8, do not repress or restrict any true instinct of your nature, but devote all in perfection to the sole service of your one true will. And then he's just has a bunch of quotes from the Book of the Law. Be goodly, therefore, address ye all. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Finally, rejoice. That's the only thing. Everything else are quotes from the Book of the Law. The most important to me, at least at the moment, is remember all ye, that existence is pure joy, and that all the sorrows are but as shadows. They pass and are done. but there is that which remains. Okay. It really gets better. As a matter of fact, as we went over the first two duties last night at class, it was as if I was hearing it for the first time. And on more than one occasion last night, I said, wow, that line right there is worth the price of admission. The piece is Duty by Aleister Crowley, and it's truly worthy of an evening in your living room with a bunch of friends going through it and chewing on it, if you will. I learned more last night than I could possibly have presumed to teach. So, until tomorrow. Again, if you haven't ordered The Tarot Architect, please do. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Until then, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.